Hey everybody, Asher here, back with some more Hearthstone One Night in Karazhan, where we are continuing to take a look at some decks that are kind of moving up and down, left and right, because we are doing that dance early on in the adventure where we only have a few cards released, so there's not terribly many things that are new, but I was fascinated by a deck that I did see Reynad playing on his stream last night, so I thought I'd go ahead and give it a chance here. You may have seen this on ladder a few times already, because imitation is the sincerest form of watching Twitch, apparently, and I'm not the only person to do this, I'm sure. But this is a very aggressive style, almost face style, Shaman here. And you can see that there is one key significant new card, Maelstrom Portal, deal 1 damage, summon a 1-cost minion. And then we have a lot of little things on top of it, and we have Blood Mage Thalanos, we have Azure Drakes to try and get some additional spell power, if at all possible. Unbound Elemental. Interesting to see how this plays out, whether there's better minions. Typically, most Shaman lists put Tuskar Totemic, but the idea here is we're playing so many Overload cards that this can build up quite a bit, especially since so many cards are +1 health or +1 attack, and this one is still one of the old +1/+1 standbys. So we're going to take a few shots at this deck on the ladder, just kind of get a sense to see how it's going, if it curves out pretty well, and like I said, we're waiting in anticipation for the next wing of One Night in Karazhan to release this Thursday, but for now, let's see what we got here today. Alright, Shaman versus Shaman. I have a very strong suspicion that this is going to be a mirror match. But Shamans are all over the ladder anyway, and I will say one reason I am local recording instead of streaming right now is because I honestly was pretty disappointed with the video quality for the first videos that I put out for One Night Karazhan. That always seems to happen. My streams go pretty well, but then when it's around the time of a new release, we have kind of just annoying things happen where the stream quality is not nearly as good. Like, I have streamed Starbound plenty with no problems. I have streamed Hearthstone quite well with little issue, but for whatever reason today or the last time I streamed, we had some significant issues. So I guess one of the questions is, do I want to clear this? I'd like to clear it and develop board, which means I should probably drop Finley, but I can actually do this without killing Finley. I just have to use the coin, which I guess is alright, all things considered. It's a big thing about a lot of these matchups in the current metagame, and I don't know, maybe that'll change, maybe it won't, is that mirror matches like this, or Shaman versus Shaman, are still very much all about that initial board control push. And that could very well be misplayed. By all means, tell me in the comments, but I didn't get any comments really on the videos I put out last time in terms of quality, but it's still just pretty damn annoying to feel like you have things fixed for quite a while, and then for whatever reason on a okay, I want to do a stream for the first time in a few weeks because I've had a lot of issues crop up and work schedule conflicts. Yeah, it doesn't work out very well. So more typical list here. And is he going to go for the Trog, or is he going to go for the Flame Tongue Totem? Alright, he goes for the Flame Tongue. I don't think Lightning Storming this is correct. I do think Thalanos Maelstrom Portal, though, is pretty good. So nice art. It's a whelp. Nothing crazy. This all dies to a board clear. For what it's worth. So second Tuskar, why not? Not a Totem Golem at least. So we gotta look out for Thing from Below. So it's about to be time where we stop trading and we start getting serious here. I'll just go ahead and use this. Thought I could Lightning Storm there, but no great reason to. Because we can still Lava Burst, we can even Lightning Storm to pump this up further. Would love another Rockbiter weapon, but I'm glad I didn't save it from before. The thing is that if he has a board clear, good for him. But obviously he doesn't. So, lay on my hands. I guess you gotta go back to Paladin. I don't know. So, 1 for 1 so far. At least that.
Watch your back.
For Doomhammer.
Alright, I guess one of the immortal questions is, do we keep Thalanos? Versus Rogue, I think it's a pretty poor keep. So we're just gonna go for The old usual Tunnel Trog, Argent Squire. I can tell from the deck tracker over here to the right that we redrew something anyway. No, we didn't. It flashed at me, but I was wrong. Alright, so we do have this dream opening of a Tunnel Trog turn 2 maximum memeage. The question is going to be what kind of rogue this is, so we'll find out. Feral Spirits on 4 is pretty good. If it comes down to it. Looks like we're just going to be toteming the next turn, so here's our near perfect curve. Doomsayer. Oh, that's annoying. Well, we can kill it, so that's a top deck.
That's incredible.
That's still like a heal for 6. And if he has a second Doomsayer, I can also deal with that. Okay, Mill Rogue. Well, we know how to play this game, at least, as long as we don't let him Shadow Step. Well. Good news is that we can play our hand. Bad news is that we have our Azure Drakes. So, let's see. This seems most correct. Big thing about Mill Rogue is that you want to put a lot of pressure on him. But to be honest, I haven't really watched enough Mill Rogue to know the best way to take it on. Alright, what are you going to do with Thalanos? Backstab? Alright. Shadow Strike? Oh, sap. Okay. And what else just for fun? Alright. Alright, well it's too bad I'm a little bit overloaded. But we definitely don't want to let the Shadow Step for the Cold Light happen again. Alright, we have 9 cards in hand. We can get down to 7. We have most of our key cards in here already.
I wonder.
So, how do we want to do this? It looks like we're playing Lightning Bolt anyway, so we might as well just develop this. I'd love to develop the Unbound Elemental, but that's probably not happening this turn. Alright. Do we save the Golem? This is probably fine.
Today, I don't have to be a princess.
Well, we're not gonna, what's this? If your hand is empty, yeah, that's not gonna happen in this matchup. So big question now is, there's a few plays that the Rogue loves to make here, and Vanish, I believe, is a 6-mana card. I'm not sure, but he may be forced to try and heal here, which I can punch through. Maybe I didn't think too well about how much damage I'd be doing, but I didn't want to just run one of my minions into him if I didn't have to. Okay, Shadow Strike. That's fine. Alright. Okay, once again, just got to keep pressuring the board. Argent is great here, especially because, let's see here, that's 2, 7 potentially. I think we go ahead and, like I said, I'd love to play the Unbound Elemental. Well, that gets more cards out of my hand. No, it doesn't, actually. Alright, we're going to play this first. I care a little less if that gets destroyed. We play around Betrayal, because we're at rank 13, and Betrayal might be making a comeback. And, there's Vanish. So that eats one of my cards. Alright. So that's not overload. We have 5 mana to work with. We can't really clear our hand very well, but we can do this. As nice as it would be to drop another 4 mana 7/7, the Flame Wreath Faceless is also sat bait.
A glorious invention.
Okay, so what do we lose? Okay. Alright, that's fine. Let's see, do we have lethal right now? Because this is when you play a card with overload. So that's going to be 5, 10. Alright. And like I said before, that's where Arcano Smith very interesting in Mill Rogue, but Mill Rogue you just have to pressure them, and not be afraid. And we were fearless that time, so Swagmaster goes down. Okie dokie, think we get rid of all these. Keep the Totem Golem, keep the Rockbiter Weapon. Fun part is that we have no idea what kind of deck we're going to be facing, whether it's going to be like some Protect the King madness, where we do want a board sweep, but Maelstrom Portal can actually be pretty good there. Interesting underscores for spaces for Maelstrom Portal, but that's better than when Hearthstone Deck Tracker was refusing to update before, and it would just say no as the card. Alright, so he mulliganed everything. He knows I kept something. They did change the mulligan process to where...
Greetings, friend.
Or they did change the mulligan process to where you don't see other people's mulligans until at the same time. So that's pretty good. But we'll see how this goes. Dragon Warrior. This seems alright.
Elements guide me.
Dragon Warrior, definitely still a legit deck. One issue with the deck that I'm running, though, is that I don't have a lot of card draw. So we'll see kind of where this goes. When I was watching Reynad play this, I guess, yeah, it was last night, I thought he had Ancestral Spirit in it somewhere. Alright, that's decent for me. That's really good for me. So as long as we can keep up the pressure and maybe get some cards that are not our 1-drops. That would be just lovely. Twilight Guardian. Now we're going to start running into some problems here. If we don't get something good. That's good, but that's not good this turn. Alright, we have 6 damage on board. We only need to use 4. So we probably want to trade out the Golem. Both of these die to War Axe anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Ugh. Okay. I saw the Overload Crystal and still thought that that was 4 mana instead of 3. So I'm dumb. Alright. We'll see if that taunt makes a difference. There's potential Flame Wreath time. So that's card draw for him. Hard to say what... Oh, that's a decent draw. Is it a decent draw this turn, I guess, is my first question. Probably yes. The important thing for Maelstrom Portal is that it is strictly minions, so 2 damage doesn't mean a lot in this matchup, so we mainly only want to use it to trade up. I don't know if Lava Bursting was correct there, saving it for face. They're saving it for bigger targets. So a little bit of card draw. Alright, I guess we draw to execute here, or we don't have to. Smart money says to play this. But if I can just remove right away.
Who's up for an adventure?
Shapeshift, steady shot. Guess we go shapeshift. It's better with Doomhammer. Alright, so I got all my weenies. I don't know if I really have much of an advantage yet. Alright. Haven't been able to figure out what everything on this board is for.
I wield the power.
Oh, okay, good. You want to throw 3 damage into that? That is fine. Alright. Are we too slow all of a sudden? Maybe. I think hero power in here is fine because we can save the spell power for possibly something better. So let's go face. So he either has a really bad draw where he hasn't gotten any weapons yet, or there hasn't been anything worth weaponing yet. Which this deck, I guess, does present that kind of interesting challenge. That's a twist. Execute? Okay. It's really too bad I'm not going to have the mana to do everything that I want to do this turn. Like, that's sad, but... Doomhammer's a nice get.
The light protects me.
Too bad we're not going to be able to cash in on that spell power with the Maelstrom portal, though. That would have been nice to clear that unit, but... Not the card I expected to see. Let's see, so... we might just be running out of time here. Which is okay. Okay, rock biter weapon. He doesn't have lethal. Amazingly. So let's see here. That's 5. That's 10.
What to do?
So let's see here. That's 3 plus 6. So that's 12 damage. So we're not quite there yet. I can't just face this. So we're going to have to trade you in. Let's see what we get.
I have big plans.
That's useless. But I guess that's the usual, isn't it?
I fight.
Now let's see if he's got enough direct damage to just off me now. There's a few ways we might win this. Lava Burst top deck. Flame Tongue Totem if I can maintain my board. That's about it. That's not how we win. That's also not how we win. Oh well.
Well played.
I got all my low cards and I was able to control the board for a while, but didn't get my top end until it was a little too late. Oh well. Okay, don't know if this is who we just played. We'll see if Warriors may be a bad matchup for this deck. We don't keep Thalanos or Maelstrom. I said I got shackled a little bit by the overload last time, so maybe that was some misplaying on my part, but based on the cards that I had, I felt like I had to keep clearing, keep up the pressure. I was a turn away from possibly pulling it out. Don't like that I have so many 1-drops and I didn't grab one, but it'd be funny if this deck's just good against everything but Warriors. But I have another deck I'll be playing after this set for that. But like I said, streaming Hearthstone is something I do want to do some more. But one problem that I have is just the my ISP decides sometimes that the video quality that I have is going to be very choppy because it decides it wants to throttle the connection. And I called them about it again, and they're like, "There's nothing wrong on our end." It's like, really? Because I can show you all kinds of graphs and data that say other things. So Crimson's just going to wait a while, or maybe he's playing from the toilet and had to wipe his butt. I don't know. But it's really frustrating when the technology portion of everything is not what's consistent. Alright. That tells us almost nothing. So I could go for a totem here. I may want to save Thalanos. So we'll just hit the totem, but we're not playing Thing from Below. That is the exact totem I wanted. My guess right now is that Crimson's playing an OTK Warrior, which in that point, take as much time as you want. So I would have died anyway from the Fiery War Axe. I guess you just want to do that over 2 turns. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we get. This kind of plays into the Ravaging Ghoul a little bit, but he's wasting mana, whereas I'm using mana. Granted, I'm using mana for totems, which is far less than ideal, but if he's going to throw an axe charge into that, that means he either drew another weapon or something else entirely. I guess right now I haven't really tipped my hand to say if I'm Taunt or Bog Champ or whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's Cthulhu Warrior. I've heard some people say Cthulhu Warrior is not as good as it used to be. I'm not 100% sold on that, but let's go ahead and do it like this. If it's Cthulhu Warrior, we're not going to have many options for portaling anyway. Well, that's probably the best one drop I've gotten out of the portal so far. Now we've got some serious overload cards in our hand, which will be good for Tunnel Trog as well. Especially if he throws out a target that I actually want to hit. Alright.
I have no time for games.
Okay, too bad I don't run Hex. How do I want to do this? Let's go ahead and play this. Give him more targets. Good chance to not have what I want taken, so that's good. Even kill the token. That's now executable. It's unfortunate that I killed my healing totem there, but what was the alternative? Not much, really, because it would have been... If it would have been pinged anyway. But now we got some decent pressure on the board. I don't think he wants to use an execute on Unbound Elemental. Most people don't. We are locked down for 2. This is something where I don't play Shaman very much, except for on the phone. And on the phone, the mobile client is really terrible about telling you when your mana is overloaded next turn. It's good about telling it to you this turn. But when I've seen some mobile reviews that are like, the game cheats. Yeah, I've played myself into that. Well, that's at least one execute gone. Second War Axe. So he had that for a while. He should really... Okay, I hate backseat gaming here. But if that were my War Axe, I would have definitely gone for the Tunnel Trog. Mainly because as a... Let's see here. First off, this Tunnel Trog's going to die anyway. So it's probably better if we do this. We're just going to use our Axe Charge. We don't need to develop bodies right now, but the thing is that this is not very strong by itself. The only time you want to kill this instead of prioritizing the minion if you're just literally overrun by a bunch of little bodies. Wow, big sneeze. Sorry about that. But look at what he brawled for a second. He brawled, and of course he got the best possible result of the brawl. But still, he either feels that he's really ahead or just really unsure of what cards I have in my hand, because he brawled just a few tiny, tiny minions. Let's not do this. Here we have Lightning Storm as well. Once again, we have a few outs. Once again, Lightning Storm is not very strong versus a Cthulhu Warrior. That's not nice of you. So he's going to Shield Slam here. Alright. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to catch up. Oh, he's playing... So people are going back to playing the Elise version of Cthulhu Warrior instead of Double Doom Caller. That's probably correct. And see, now we're in just a terrible situation here. I'm pretty much too far behind at this point. But we'll play it out a little more. There's a possibility that I get some good draws and can make a comeback. This might be a matchup where, because it's slower with Finley, I take Life Tap if it's available. Alright. Okay. Welcome to Screwed Town. Population me. Alright. Good thing we have a board clear. And we got the right totem. Let's see if we can get some high rolls here. Never high rolls. Alright. Even one high roll would have helped me quite a bit. But, you know, at least we were able to clear the board, so we're not completely getting blown out. Alright, Gorehowl. Gorehowl into that. That wasn't a top deck either. He's been holding on to that Gorehowl for a while. I pretty much have no answer for Gorehowl. Rock Biter, Lava Burst. Rock Biter is pretty much my... Okay. Second Doom Hammer is alright. Okay. It is probably far better that I totem here. In case he decides to get cute with Cthulhu. I'd actually be okay with a Cthulhu, because I don't want to present lethal on board and make him, like, do something. So the problem is that if I need to draw into something with Azure Drake, I won't necessarily be able to Doom Hammer. I've used both my Flying Tum Totems. He's used one Brawl. Please don't be Shield Bearer. Please don't draw Shield Bearer. Damn it. That's pretty much game. Alright, well, we're gonna have to play this very aggressively now. Argent Squire is not the definition of very aggressively. For all I know, he's running Harrison as well. So we'll just keep putting pressure on the board. For all I know, he has just a car too, but we do have some outs. Is once again the key here. Not a ton of outs. We're at 14 cards, and there's maybe like 2 cards that will get me the win, and that depends on what happens here. So more card draw. Okay, Shield Bearer, not Shield Bearer, Acolyte of Pain. That's fun. All right. Literally one card saves me, and it's not Total Shrug. Spell Power Totem. Like I said, the reason that I keep going face is this, is that my only out right now is continuing to go face. That's literally all I've got. Alright, so if that's... Okay. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh well. I had my opportunities, I had my chances. As oftentimes goes with very aggressive Shaman decks, it's that you've got to actually be able to capitalize at the right time. It's too bad. So here's the deck one more time. Went 2-2 with it, which is not ideal, but it's also just 4 games. So that's a small sample size. He top decked at the right time to get heals, and that's how it goes. I'll be happy to look at the replays and figure out if there's some things that I could have done better. If this deck needs card draw, maybe, I don't know. The Unbound Elemental is very much a very Reynad kind of thing. Some people would say it's not necessarily the strongest card at all. Unfortunately, mine was able to get executed early, and that did make a difference in the game based on what cards he had. But that's it for now. This is Asher with more Hearthstone. We'll do this again soon. I have one other deck I want to look at before the next slate of cards are released. Thanks for watching. See you next time.